In this Kotlin on Android development tutorial, we're going to describe how to get access to camera runtime permissions by using the EasyPermissions library. Welcome to Mobile Application Tutorials, and my name's Nigel. Okay, we're into part 2 of the Camera2 API series of how to display a preview. If we look down here, this is on my site. There's free membership to it, and we're in part 2 here. Currently, all these episodes have been installed, recorded, and are available on the site. If you do want to get access to all of them straight away in this moment in time, there will be a one-off fee of $10 US, or else they're going to be released once every week. First to this channel here, to the site here, and then towards the end of the week they'll be made public on YouTube. Okay, so we're heading off with the EasyPermissions here. If you haven't done the first episode here, Get Texture View, how to install the texture view into your project, you can either do that tutorial, or I will put the details in GitHub of how you can get the source code to do that. There is a video, but that's to the members on the premium membership plan, or people who have bought this particular plan for $10. They will get a helper video here describing how to get the source code to move on for this particular tutorial. Or else you can do the Create Texture View episode, the one before this one. Okay, I think we will make a start. So let's jump across to Android Studio. And the first thing we need to do is install the EasyPermissions library. So if we go to our build.gradle file, and if we pop straight back to my website, I've just put I'm going to copy and paste just the library details for EasyPermissions. Go back into the build.gradle file, paste that in there, and you will have to sync to pull down that library. That's now complete, so let's go into our Fragment file, preview Fragment. First thing I'm going to do is to add an ID for our request code, and that can go into our companion object there. It's going to be a const value, and I will call it request camera permission. It is going to be of the type int, so I'm just going to put, you can put any number here, I'm just going to put 100. It'll just be consistent with this request code here. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to override the current on request permissions, and just tell it that I think I've still got my caps on, and so we need to override the current on request permissions, and down here we need to tell it that we're going to pass these permission requests off to our EasyPermissions library basically, and that's also got an on permissions result, and we just pass these parameters in there: request code, permissions, and grant results. Okay, so the handling of runtime requests is now going to happen on the EasyPermissions library. Okay, now we're going to actually create the function where we check to see if the application has camera permissions or not. And the first thing I need to do is call after permissions are granted. It's a helper function, because after we granted permissions, we would have to go back and do our initial call if the permissions had been granted. This sort of saves us from that, and we'll pass in our request ID code. Now we'll call the actual function and make that private function check camera permission. It's not going to take any parameters. Okay, first thing it's going to do is let's check to see if we do have permissions. So first argument's activity, and the second one will be, we'll call the manifest, and make sure you select the Android manifest. There is a Java one as well. If you select the Java one, you will become stuck. Select permission and select camera. And let me just put some curly braces there. Let me go down there and go else. And before I forget, let's just check to see in our Android manifest file that we have got the camera permission. Okay, so we don't actually have permission here. We need that. So let's get the camera permission for that as well. Close the braces. So we will need this as well as our EasyPermissions. So that has to be done in 2 places, permission requests. Let's go back to our fragment. So we've got the permission in our manifest file. Okay, inside here, if this has been granted, I'm just going to call a log. Debug log, put in the tag flag, and just put app has camera permission, just to inform us in the debug log that we do have permission to access the camera. And down here, if we don't have permissions, we'll have to request it. So let's call EasyPermissions again, and this time we'll call request permissions. First argument again is going to be the activity. We'll have to do a safe call here. And the second one is going to be the request rationale. So we'll call a get string. And inside here, I'm going to call r.string. Camera request rationale. I've already set this up. If we go into there, basically I just created a string here called camera request rationale. Okay, you might have to create that dynamically. Okay, so let's close that down. Okay, we still need a few other arguments there. The next one's going to be the request code itself. And finally, we put in the manifest. And that should all be all we need to do. Finally, we do need to call check camera permission. And in the previous tutorial, we created this method here, open camera. So it's a good place now to call a check on our camera permission. Okay, that's all that needs to be done at this stage. So let's run this and see if we get the permission or not, or get even the dialog prompting us to grant permission to this application. So I'll run this now. Right, the application's now started. You can see as it started, we've been asked for permission to take pictures and record video. So we're going to allow that. Now just let me enlarge this, and we'll just go over here. And I don't know if this is very clear, but you can see down here, app has camera permission. That's our string that we put in there. So we have been granted camera permission. And that completes the EasyPermissions tutorial on how to get camera permissions. As you can see, it's quite straightforward. By using this library, you do save a few little steps than if you're using the generic Android libraries. The next episode we're going to be looking at is actually, now that we've got permissions to access the camera device, we're going to dig down, we're going to actually get the camera manager, dig down, get the camera ID, which represents the front or the rear camera lens. You can think of it like that, and just return that ID. So we'll move forward with that. And remember, all these episodes are currently available on this channel for members on the professional plan, or you can buy this particular series for the price of $10, and you'll get all these episodes straight away, plus these 2 extra videos at the bottom, which will stay on the premium site only. Okay, and that's it for this one. And if you've got any questions, YouTube's not the place to post them. You can just hit me up in Code Mentor, where I provide paid consultancy support. And I also put all my announcements, my handle for Twitter and Facebook's up there. All my announcements for when I release videos and other projects that I'm working on as well. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You will get notified of when I release my videos, and I'm currently got several coming out every week at the moment. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you for taking the time for watching. Bye for now.